Mike Pompeo has become the first US Secretary of State to visit a Jewish settlement in the West Bank. Settlements are regarded as illegal under international law, and goods made there are targeted by pro-Palestinian groups. Mr. Pompeo says the US will now treat the boycott Israel movement as anti-Semitic.
In this chopper heading to the West Bank, Mike Pompeo. Until now, top US officials have avoided visiting Israeli settlements to avoid inflaming tensions with the Palestinians. But that's changed in line with US foreign policy. The Trump administration last year declaring it no longer believed the settlements were in contravention of international law.
For a long time, the State Department took the wrong view of settlements. It took a view that didn't recognize the history of this special place.
Palestinian protesters marched through the West Bank city of Al-Bireh as Mr. Pompeo toured the nearby Psagot winery, majority owned by wealthy Florida donors to the Republican Party. His visit angering Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, who said through a spokesman Pompeo's visit to occupied land is an active participation in the occupation. Reversing 25 years of US policy, the Secretary of State said that wine and other goods produced in settlements may now enter the US labelled Made in Israel. Palestinian Americans here furious.
He's coming to give legitimacy to the settlers who are trespassing the privately owned land. And we hope that the new administration of Mr. Biden will reverse all the steps that taken by Mr. Trump.
An early test of the Biden-Netanyahu relationship could be over Israeli settlement building. This is Gavat Hamatos in Arab-dominated East Jerusalem, where Israel wants to build a Jewish neighbourhood. A visit to the Golan Heights was next, a gesture condemned as provocative by the Syrian government. This is territory Israel captured from Syria during the 1967 war, then later annexed, in a move rejected by the United Nations. The Trump administration shifted policy on this too.
Thanks to President Trump, the United States recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights.
And there was another gift from Mike Pompeo, who some see as courting the Israeli and evangelical Christian vote ahead of his own possible run for president in 2024. The US, he said, would now view the boycott, divestment and sanctions movement, which targets Israel over its policies towards the Palestinians, as anti-Semitic. Rena Sarampayat, SBS World News.